Morning, morning.
$5 million.
No, I'm the only community that does fraud.
How come they said this building was closed? Do you guys know where Natural Mobility is? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
Wow.
On the fraud, and they have no defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here?
Good morning, good morning.
Most definitely, because they're
Happy Thursday.
The Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse.
Tampon Timmy.
Hey, Brock.
Exposed, and as I showed the world the blatant fraud taking place at daycares and other locations across Minnesota.
Yeah, man. Make Shirley on it. You're going further into the bullshit. You know, Tampon Tim.
All doing great, just chilling.
For governor again.
Sharing Nick Shirley
I'm glad you're not our
investigation in Minnesota, sharing the information he got going on. Shit crazy.
It became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota and the HHS froze over
Thanks for subscribing. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thanks for the likes.
And while politicians like Tim Walz call people like me white supremacists and far-right delusional conspiracy theorists for exposing the fraud, meanwhile, he actually dropped out of running for re-election. The Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Learning Center were exposed. However, the daycares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota. In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all of the dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections of the business owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this widespread fraud scandal for years. So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud, and
hit that like button, like and subscribe.
Some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of Minnesota.
Well, what I think might be sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something.
Like and subscribe. Thank you guys for joining and subscribing and liking to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT. My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such.
Happy Thursday. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
And more than 90% of them are Somali owned.
So right here on the table, what do we have? All this information right here.
So I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company. A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment, some are in a house, some are in a convenience store, some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage, there's nobody there.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside of Minnesota?
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel, so childcare is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism is a spoke, the interpreter services, which we could get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation. Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals, someone has to deliver the kid to autism, or say they did. So it all revolves around the transportation. And so when you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just be conservative. Let's go on the low side. Let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota. Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company. So that's 800 times 20.
Become the math.
These NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going. Because remember, it's not emergency medical transportation. well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die. So that's considered, right? So it's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips. But I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trip. So that's $100 per round trip. So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies, they all own 20 vehicles, and they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip. So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips times $50 a trip. Do the math. And the reality is,
that's
how many
crazy.
trips are being provided? 0.
8 million a day.
Why? Because
8 million a day. Wow.
when they are paid by the state of Minnesota, these companies go online and they fill out a form, and it just says, okay, how many trips, how many miles. They submit
I was
that
making sure
electronically to the
an
state,
idiot.
and boom, they get
All you do is asking questions and bringing paper,
call the dentist to this kid
which
show
is a
up,
receipt. All you do is prove them wrong.
As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
Like and
So
subscribe.
essentially, these transportation companies are what hold all of the fraud together, because you have the daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the adult daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the healthcare companies working with the transportation companies. So it's just another way to bill and to also make it look like something's happening here inside of Minnesota.
This is the belly of the beast. All of this fraud revolves around these transportation companies. All of it. This touches every part of fraud here in Minnesota.
And today we're going to go confront these people. We confronted them last time. There was no kids in any of the child care centers. And today, what do you expect to see?
I think we're going to see some vehicles because, you know, when I
Thank you. Appreciate that. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys.
Somalis driving, mostly it's like a Plymouth Caravan or whatever. And there's one time I saw an open suitcase. This is about fraud. Coming for you.
Heard it here first, David. All right, let's go.
Hey.
So where's the first
Hater.
The first location
Hey, Brock.
is a company called Safari Transportation.
Tristan, how you
Cedar
doing?
Avenue South in Minneapolis.
And so what makes Safari Transportation Company an interesting transportation company?
Well,
Allegedly fraudulent.
well, the thing about Safari is that they've been registered since 2015 with the state of Minnesota as operating vehicles. And again, the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles. So if they've got 20 vehicles and they're at 607 Cedar Avenue, I have no idea where there's parking them.
That's good. That's good, man.
Anywhere near this office.
We've arrived to the transportation company. We're outside, and right there, we have
Yeah, all Nick Shirley doing is just showing the fraud. It's not about being racist, white supremacy.
Daycares is blocked out.
He's just exposing the fraud that's going on. That's it.
The location here is
Fraud is not racist.
7 and also 617. These are two transportation companies. We're on a main road right now, and this is 607, and it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here, 607. This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring.
That's
But if you look at
it right there, the
Secretary of State's
money.
office, state of Minnesota,
They're
Safari
transporting that money across.
607 Cedar
Okay,
Avenue.
Okay, then. That's the case, then. They said this daycare was closed.
Original filing.
And in this video, it's going to show you that it's open. And the commissioner said it was closed.
Are you?
The commissioner said it was
We're looking
closed
for the
now.
transportation
Keep
company.
watching the video.
Safari Transportation.
Looking for Safari Transportation. No Safari Transportation.
Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation. So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation, 607.
That's the address.
We don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Okay, so the business is not here.
Sorry, Kirk.
What, Omar?
Fuad Omar.
You don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
Money transferring. Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is understood.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for Safari Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here.
This is registered.
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota. Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today. This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
They're right there.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business. Exactly. Exactly. It's not here. It's a fraud. Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
Do the Somali women supposed to work, or do they even work at all? Something like that.
State of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store.
Wow, liquor store.
They aren't even trying to hide that these are transportation companies.
No, they're not. That's crazy.
Yes? Let's go ask.
Help a brother out. I'm subscribing. Help a brother out.
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
You ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari, I know Safari, that money wiring, 607.
The money wiring.
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring. We're looking for Safari Transportation.
607.
They said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari,
Uh-oh.
company, the money wiring, they said money there, that's the 607.
So Safari gets money and then they wire it out.
Yeah, money.
That man just said that Safari is actually
Thank you.
money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere underneath the name of a transportation company.
They said go here.
Suite A right here. And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax. I do not see a transportation company anywhere.
Morning. Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it? He said to ask here, so you would know. So Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox. 834.
So it could be one of these mailboxes. Well,
okay, see you later.
607, Safari Transportation, doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business. 617, Dreamline, inside of
I am real MAGA.
It's actually a liquor store. And then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes and it says reliable ITT services. How are you doing, man? Yes, sir.
Help a brother out. Help a brother
Here
out.
we
Like and
go.
subscribe. Happy
Dumb
Thursday.
shit. Here we go.
Pop again.
What are we sensationalizing?
Attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking. All the taxpayers' dollars we're getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to. This is about fraud.
Here we go.
Sensationalizing.
But dumb shit. Here we go.
Pop again.
What are we sensationalizing?
Attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making
We're
money
looking-
from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No, I'm-
For instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607? It's not there. And why don't you answer?
How much money are
Why don't you answer the
How much
question?
money
Where's
are you
617 Dreamline Security?
How much money are you
I make
making
money off
this?
of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Yeah, so you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That my job
Attacking the
is.
Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys.
Help a
We're
brother
asking-
out and subscribing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me tell you the reason why
Fraud
you're
is fraud, correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud. It's
This
fraud.
absolutely has.
It's all about fraud, people. It's all about fraud. Nothing about no man or race. You got caught. She got caught. Your race got caught.
to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being.
Thank you guys for joining in. Appreciate it.
Constitutional argument.
Nick, you know what I'm saying? Exposing the truth out there. You know what I'm saying?
Change the freedom of
Don't
religion.
commit
Say,
fraud.
listen, you don't want
Fraud is not
Muslims
racist.
in this country.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not
Because
saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're talking.
when I go onto your comments,
My comment.
what I see is people that say, "Do not want Muslims here. kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
If you're committing fraud,
You're preparing
fraud.
for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the question. Where is the transportation
something that
vehicle
can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the question.
safety and the protection of
This
the
is
Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking about
If
fraud,
anything
sir.
happens to the Somali,
We're talking about fraud.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically.
You're getting very close.
I'm not physically.
Security on it. That's right, security.
This is fraud. We're talking about fraud.
Get back.
You're defending fraud.
When I go into your comments,
You're defending fraud.
people who hate Muslims
Kids,
want us out of here.
People can say what they
being
want. I'm
Muslim
not censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something.
I see where you're coming from, but some people are part using it to attack their Muslim for Somali people, whatever. But corruption is corruption, and y'all just got caught being corrupt. Y'all sending money overseas. Some of y'all saying South America. Y'all saying Islam is better than Christianity. A lot of stuff going on. So, yeah.
So guess what?
Say it. We're asking about fraud.
And that's Stark, you
We're asking
unsubscribe?
about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud.
Okay, wow.
We're
Why
talking
are
about
you
fraud.
attacking us?
This
Are we
is
the
fraud.
only community
We're
that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about.
Exposing fraud is not an attack. It's not attacking you. It's exposing fraud. $9 billion. Taxpayer dollars. Some of my
How you doing, Mark?
You know, what the heck?
Thanks for joining in.
Sure, you guys are taxpayers.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about
All
fraud.
right, but there's what, 300 Somali
This is
providers in
fraud.
all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800. So,
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Security doesn't even speak English.
yeah, so see, this isn't a race issue, sir. This is about fraud.
We have what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a.
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
You're going to sacrifice the safety of
Sir,
80,000 people
we're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. We're the transportation company.
What about the mass
Listen.
shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick's t-shirt. If any Somali,
This is about
if
fraud.
a single Somali gets hurt,
This is about fraud, sir.
you sensationalize it. You son of a sensationalize it.
Wow, you're very
Wow.
nice. Very nice.
It's about fraud, man.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
f- out of
company
our neighborhood. We don't want you to get the f- out of here.
is. Calm down, sir.
Get the f- out of here.
Sir, this is
Why
about
does-
fraud.
If they know who Nick Shirley is, just bring the receipt. Just show the paperwork. Like, look, Nick, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's it. The same thing with any other journalist that show up there. Just prove them wrong. That's all you got to do. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see that it was closed. Now it's open. Now it's kids there. Now it's no kids there. No kids' footprints. And later on in the video, they're going to show that no cars are moving around. No cars been moved in months. You'll see. Just keep watching the video. You'll see the fraud.
Sensationalize. Why the clicks?
Fraud.
You're sensationalizing yourself,
Why
sir.
the clicks?
You're sensationalizing yourself.
Why the clicks? Why the YouTube?
Tell me where the transportation.
Like and subscribe. Help a brother out. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation.
f- out of our community.
Tell me where the. This is about fraud. This is.
Say I don't want
This is
Muslims.
about fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it.
I'm
I
not.
want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
And I
want
want
to
to
change the
change freedom of
Constitution.
religion. And I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota.
Yeah, 10 upon 10 messed
I
up.
was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are.
Sir, we're not talking.
Change the
This is
Constitution.
about
He was born here, the
fraud.
passport won't.
This is about fraud.
Get the f- out of here. You stupid.
Tell me where the transportation company is
He was
then.
born in university.
Obviously, for this video, we had to get security because look at this now. We're done. But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No,
My argument is that there's fraud.
Against religion. This is about fraud.
They admit there's been fraud. People has been arrested for the fraud.
Well,
And they saying Nick, or the guy in the video saying, the guy in the video saying Nick is being racist for exposing the fraud. Fraud is not racist. That's all I'm getting at. I'm trying to figure out how is that a problem. It's just that your group of people, which is Somalian, y'all got caught with $9 billion fraud. That's it. So it could be another group, but your group got caught.
Benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Because he couldn't answer the question. Where was the transportation?
He wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make it about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers.
That's me in the video. This is me. I'm replaying the video from yesterday. This is me.
Vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip, and with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those two locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's
they throw the race card out every time for to deflect the bullshit, the real
shit. The place
shit.
that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so,
amazing.
Why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to move in there.
I'm doing that.
Wait, what do we have to
Well, that my fault on that. Went too far.
It's fair to say each business is operating with an average
Went too far on that one. My bad.
Lower and generous rate of $25 per trip, and with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those two locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed with the state of Minnesota. But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so,
amazing.
Why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to talk to the guy next door, and those were all just mailboxes. And then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just talked to him. Obviously, the cover-up, and you see how they...
Good morning, Brian. Thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe.
All this intimidation, and thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, and so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window and the numbers on the rear. None of these vehicles have moved in 8 months. I've been taking date stamp photos. All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago. And look, there's no tire tracks, so they haven't moved.
And this van as well, this is Dreamline. Dreamline was the
What up, Butts? Thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe.
On 617 Cedar. And this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store. And now it's here, and the vans haven't moved at all.
That's
literally
crazy.
No vans and no tire tracks anywhere. That these vans are being used to transport.
The vans being used, why they ain't being used? They sitting right there. And then later on in the video, they're going to say they full. That's crazy.
For people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You're going to see tire tracks of the cars.
11 vehicles here. No snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of money. Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for it. Here's all of the vehicles right here. The vehicles that are coming in and out, like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building, icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving. And then right here, David has more paperwork for Silver Mountain. And there's 3 different companies in the same address.
Yeah.
So when we talk about how all of these companies are intertwined,
No problem, Brian.
this is a perfect example of that.
No problem at
This
all.
is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be supported, as a majority of the fraud is welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, adult daycares, and healthcare services. They need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening. Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they're moving people from
Like and subscribe.
a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to build the state for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why this fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle, because quite literally everyone is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
All right, so this is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any. Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that.
Silver Mountain.
Park Avenue.
Where is
Oh,
Silver Mountain?
here we go.
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay, so Silver Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name, the name's not, the name's not Silver Mountain, it's just Silver
Don't
Mountain.
ask me that. When you come,
All right, sir. Well, so
It's
Silver,
another way
so
to
Silver
tax
Mountain does not
Yep.
exist.
MAGA, baby.
I have millions of people watching you. You're making business.
Okay, sir.
People.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain?
I don't know
Home
where
Healthcare?
it's-
Where is it?
Okay, well that's what we're looking for. All right, we're moving on. So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
I can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services, a daycare right there. All of these welfare companies are in the same location, but their
Amazing.
businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How come you think when it comes time to take
How you doing, friend?
accountability
Thanks for
for
joining
fraud,
in, friend.
or just to answer simple questions about the fraud? they
Glenn,
can't
good
answer?
morning.
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. That the reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation, but they can't, because they know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense. So in their mind,
Yep.
being loud and using profanity,
Type of brother out. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
Because
it.
I'm trying to
Appreciate
give them
it.
an opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
and to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some don't even exist. We can't even find them. We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're going to go ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here, other than if they are out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building. However, the owner was not there. We're
Of course
here
they're
at
gonna
the
be there.
suite of Epimonia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here. And anyone here? Looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonia
Good one, Tony. Tonya.
Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month if so.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but
I've
no
never
transport.
never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here, so I know everybody in the building. And this
Steve Madden, what's up? Good
place here
morning. Thanks for
is
joining
probably
in.
the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here. They're friendly. This it just pops in and out.
For instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been at 305 for the last 3 years.
Good morning, Kenneth.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records with the government.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started to be exposed,
Steve
Muhammad
Madden.
has left
Hey.
the scene, and that guy just said, he confirmed that there was never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles, according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to cut
Like and subscribe.
out the
Gotta stop doing that.
mobility is? Sweet tooth.
Door, and those were all just mailboxes, and then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just...
Let's see. Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that.
Silver Mountain.
Park Avenue.
Where is
Uh-oh.
Silver Mountain?
There we go.
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay, so Silver Mountain does not exist.
You were
The name's not Silver Mountain, it's just Silver Mountain.
Don't ask me that. When you come,
All right,
So
sir. Well, so
no,
Silver,
wait,
so
that's
Silver
not
Mountain
the
does not
way.
exist.
You're making a business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you. You're
Silver
making a
Mountain.
business.
Okay, sir.
People.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain?
I don't know
Home
what's
Healthcare?
Where is it?
Okay, well that's what we're looking for. All right, we're moving on. So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
I can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services, a daycare right there. All these welfare companies are in the same location, but their
Amazing.
businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How come you think when it comes time to take accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud, they can't answer?
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. The reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation, but they can't because they know we're shining the light on the fraud and they have no defense. So in their mind,
Yep.
being loud and using profanity,
And blame everything is racist.
Because I'm trying to give them the opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
and to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some don't even exist. We can't even find them. We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're going to go ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here, other than if they're out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building. However, the owner was not there. We're
What's
here
that
at
gonna
the
be
suite of Epimonia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here. And anyone here, looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonia Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month if so.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but
I've
no transport.
never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here. So I know everybody in the building, and this specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. everyone else is here. They're friendly. He just pops in and out.
For instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
Amazing.
It's weird that you say 308 because he's always been at 305 for the last 3 years.
Good morning, Josh. Johnny, how y'all doing? Good morning.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started to be exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and that guy just said, he confirmed that there was never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles, according to the guy who lives or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to cut
Like and subscribe.
out the transportation side of the fraud?
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we
ICE is not going to come for me.
drive ourselves or pay for an Uber. How can they have?
I go to work.
Set up?
I'm married.
I
have kids. I'm out in the streets obstructing ICE.
Some other transportation companies, they said they were all full. So now
Thanks,
we're at
Josh. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
33 13th Avenue
Thank you, guys.
South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be a
Thank you.
transportation company here called Advanced Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in
Thank you guys for what I'm saying, being here with me. All I'm doing is sharing information that's out there. You know, I'm here to learn from you guys, share, chat with you guys. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe. I'm a humble guy. Name is Deunta. Live in Rockford. Here to share and learn.
1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
So we're going to go inside.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833 boarded up.
Like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Are covered right here. We're going to see if we can go inside.
Every time, something cover the block.
There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got
Good morning, mustache.
There's a coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You don't get too far.
I don't think you guys are allowed to record.
Do you know where Advanced
See,
Mobility is?
that's crazy.
She recording. He can record.
You know where,
Same here, Tonya.
Advanced Mobility is?
Thank you guys. Happy
You know where
Thursday.
Advanced Mobility is?
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this?
Oh, my name is Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility.
Hey,
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
we don't care about this.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility. Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Where are the kids? I see only one.
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
Where's Advance?
That's what we're asking for.
It's all men there. They got two women.
Why, HN? Why you freaking out?
Mostly
Advanced
men.
Mobility is not anywhere here.
Oh, they
We're
working?
leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work
This
for?
is Nick Shirley,
I
sir.
don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
How you doing, Pussyfoot? Good morning.
Get out of here. Stop it.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And
Thank you,
been
guys.
registered
Appreciate
since
it. Appreciate it.
1999, and it doesn't exist.
Like and subscribe.
David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's, RAYZ Transportation LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. Let's see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. Let's see if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
I don't know. Transportation, but there's no transportation business here.
Oh, okay, well.
Just bring up your business.
RAYC.
Well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David. So it's confirmed that Ray Transportation, all of these transportation companies, they're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist in person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
Well, what's your message to Tim Walz?
Make a change. Make a change. Because there's definitely, even when it comes down to like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like we need spaces for the things that are going on that they're not doing. We need these type of spaces for it. Now this is crazy stuff. But I'm glad that you bring it up.
Tampons,
Crazy,
boys'
interesting
bathroom.
situation.
Oh wow!
Hey.
Jumped out the car.
The false narrative that you going on is nonsense.
You should get in your car.
You should not be doing that, right? You are
The light is
creating
green. Get back in your
misinformation. This is
car.
not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
Big John, what's
This
up?
country is built on fairness. You're not being fair. You cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job.
Let's fail.
The governor,
Jimmy, good morning.
Attorney General, let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the
They're
job.
both corrupt.
You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is information.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
You're
of
coming
Minnesota.
You're coming from everywhere. Where you coming from?
Good morning, Jimmy.
You know what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here. Sir, so we were just having a civil conversation. The guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road.
Y'all see it? Like and subscribe.
And he's saying
Like and
that
subscribe.
I'm the bad guy for showing light of what's happening here.
They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna it's a very tight knit community.
You saw firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection. So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We have no ill feelings towards you by any means. We're talking about the fraud that's happening. So God bless you, sir, and thank you very much. Why are we doing this?
So we're doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do. The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud. And when we try and talk with these people and say, look, the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue. It's a fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the
Is that
suburbs. And we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies that's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park. And so
Have a brother out, like and subscribe. Good morning.
This is the
Happy New
location of
Year's.
Crescent Transportation. We have no vans outside right now. Does not look like any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation exists. Here we are, and it's an apartment complex. There's no signage of any Crescent Transportation Company. Once again, another fraudulent business where they don't even have a storefront to show where they're at. This is an apartment complex. So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out
Coffee
here?
and a smile.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Prosecute their ass. Take them to jail.
And how do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here, a transportation company that receives money from the government is not even here? It's the apartment complex.
I can say I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money. People out here fraud, they should go to jail.
And should Tim Watts go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh?
Yeah,
All
no.
them cricket, all the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked that, no.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments. They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
Because even if you were to be running a transportation company out of your apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they? There aren't any. Crescent, I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
More fraud taking place here.
So this is called Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children. So this should be a really big facility. And this year alone, they have received
Thanks, King, for subscribing. Thank you, King.
$2.25 million from the state of Minnesota. And last year, they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility, in the past 5 years, has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in and out.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get
Blacked out. Every last one of them. Every time you go to a building of theirs, it's blacked
There's
out.
no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked. Midday right now. This is the backside of the daycare. Ringing the doorbell right now. See if anybody comes. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out. Okay, listen.
Here we
Get
go.
out. This is our business. What are you looking for? We don't care what you do on the parking lot. Go this side. This private.
I can be here in the parking lot.
No.
Wait, can we ask you about the daycare? It's all right. Oh, it's all right. Can we ask you about the daycare?
No. I don't get
Sir, I'm not racist. I'm asking.
No. You don't ask me nothing.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Right, it's about the fraud.
What are you looking for?
We're asking.
It's 4 men, 4 grown men out there.
You can't get
Yeah.
outside.
Get out, guys.
They can get away.
Get out.
But they outside already.
You cannot do that.
Where?
Get out.
This is.
Get out. No. Get out. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our hospital. Get out.
Why? Can I ask you about the daycare? I have the paperwork right here.
Get out.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
Get out.
Can you answer the
Get
question?
out. No, I don't ask you any question.
You can't.
Get out.
Can't answer the
Get
question.
out. No.
Where are
My name's Nick Shirley.
where are all the children?
Get out.
That's all they want to know.
Can you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for
It's about 4 to 5 grown men out there with no kids.
$1 million. I don't want about us. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed for 118 children.
Get out.
But I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out. Get out. You guys, get out. Don't ask you nothing, man.
I'm just asking you about what we're seeing here.
No. Get out. Get out our business. Get out.
Sir.
This is my property.
You have
Yeah, they liable to get caught. Yeah.
Can you
Uh-huh.
what's the need for $2.5 million? And where are the 118 children?
Get out.
Sir, I'm just
Get
asking
out.
simple questions.
Get out. No, you don't ask me any question. Get out.
You have the opportunity.
Yeah, they meet with hostility, but if they know he coming.
Get out.
All right, bring y'all receipts and debunk them.
Get out. Get out.
Sir,
Debunk Nick Shirley.
question.
No.
Get out.
No, get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Just answer the question.
All right, code word has been given. We're out. All right, we gotta get out of here. Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We give them so many opportunities. We gave them plenty of opportunities to just answer some simple questions. Millions of people are watching right now.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children, no footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there with 2 feet of snow on them. They haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Months. The cars haven't been moving in months.
4 men came out.
Somebody was saying 2 days. This man said the movie's been months. Now he's lived there. So who's lying?
$2.25 million this year.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Damn.
Now this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this this child care center is called
Yep,
Flower
Mark.
Child Care
Yep.
Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes right in this neighborhood. And this child care got $1.25 million in funding in fiscal year 2025.
In the beginning of the video, they were showing how the money has been made, $8 million a day through this transportation bullshit. And nobody's driving these cars. And they are driving the cars. They go into like local business like stores or restaurants or back at home. Watch the video. It's right there for you guys.
Got 1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children. And all of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to
Little
somebody.
Joey.
Try and enroll my son Joey into daycare here.
Joey need a daycare.
Well, do you have the paperwork where I can enroll?
Like and
child?
subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Oh, my name's
Happy
Nick
Monday.
Shirley. I was
Well,
wondering
it's happy
if you could enroll
Thursday
a child.
since it's Monday.
I
Happy
have a son
Thursday.
named Joey. My name's Nick Shirley. Yeah, I'm just coming out, seeing if I could enroll my child Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why this daycare needs $1.26 million, and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child Joey. No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare?
Thanks,
Just to
Mark.
show me
Appreciate
that they're
it.
legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I hope this place actually is holding 47 children because you guys are receiving $1.26 million in this year alone. So
Amazing.
have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll a child. Could have debunked all their claims. They can't even do it. One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Learning Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children. Instead of Quality Learning, it says Quality Learning Outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Learning Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare. But at the same time, the commissioner of children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
So this is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received $1.9 million. And in fiscal year 2024, they had received about $2.2 million. So about $4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Learning Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
Right. See, now
So
that's crazy.
This facility was closed. She said a week ago. And now magically it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have everybody here?
Yeah. Okay, this is the owner right here.
Why don't you hear? It's not their property.
How come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run.
16 million.
I'm suspicious when you run, brother. And you get smart.
Now see, look, that's a restaurant right there, right next to it. So it's a small cafe, a restaurant right next to the daycare. Where is the kitchen at? They closed.
Right here's the restaurant right around that corner. And that's the door right there.
That's crazy.
It's a small little kitchen, coffee shop, something like that. That's crazy.
You can't defend the fraud.
Come on, at the daycare, do it. Hey, not at the daycare, doing the middle finger, though.
We have like 100
There's no
cameras.
kids there, so it's okay. And kids there to see it.
Politicians inside Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, He was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant. And she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Learning Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events. What's your message, Bill, on the fraud here in Minnesota?
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks. So let me say this on camera. If you can prove that any of the information that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash. If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way, anybody want to take me up?
Take him up, 100,000.
You have to give me $100.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
See, they're always silent. Silent.
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent.
Everybody, that's the only one. Right.
The fraud here in Minnesota, I go by.
It's beyond the kids.
What do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about
He's a
this?
YouTuber too.
It's beyond the kids.
And they couldn't even spell learning right. They spelled leering.
Hey man, Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot, but I mean, Tim Walz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. So
Should Tim Walz be prosecuted?
hell yeah.
And at this point, you're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA. And what kind of
Close that window. Oh, she's trying to flee. Oh, she's probably trying to get to the auto glass repair place to get her car fixed, but now it looks like she's getting hauled out of the car. Oh, the mobs are not happy about this. They want her to be able to just drive away. But nope, that's not how it works. She doesn't want to get out. This is crazy. Oh, look, she's holding on to the seatbelt. Oh, she says she's been attacked by police before. Really? Really? Oh, look, they're cutting the seatbelt. I bet she has had that seatbelt's gone. I bet she has had altercations with police before. You don't get this attitude unless you live in a sanctuary where the police can't do anything. But these are federal agents. And if you drive your car at them like that, it's dangerous, and something's got to be done. There have to be consequences. And these are what consequences look like. She's being arrested. Look, oh, now there's something else going on. Oh, wow, they're carrying her because she refuses to walk. They're helping her. And you know what? ICE, they're being very professional about this. They're not being rough on her. They are detaining her. They've got enough people to carry her peacefully so that she does not get...
You gotta catch them all. Yes, sir.
The roughing up is coming from the mobs that are forcing agents to deploy smoke grenades and pepper spray. Look, this guy right here with the gas mask, he's holding a grenade, a gas grenade. It looks like he's ready to use it, too. Oh, somebody else getting arrested? What's happening now? Yep. Okay, so they're moving her to a different vehicle, I guess. Wow. This is insane. No, that guy's going to jail, too. He shouldn't have gotten involved in this. The only way people who are in America legally have any problem with ICE agents is if they insert themselves in something like this. But this is classic Antifa tactics. These people are showing up, they're attacking the federal government, then they get arrested and they say, oh, the police were so mean to me, oh, they were so awful to me. Which is not what's happening. They're being very gentle, dealing with people who are resisting. They've got enough officers here to safely load people into these vans and take them away because they need to be in custody. These people are not safe to have on the streets of any city. Okay, so now they got this guy under control, and he also refuses to walk, so you gotta have a team of people carry him to a vehicle. I guess they're gonna try to put him in this vehicle. There's somebody in there waiting for him. He's going to get to hang out with his friend. Look, they got an air horn that they're just blasting at the agents, trying to damage their eardrums. If this is an open revolt, I don't know what is. Ilhan Omar, right on schedule.
We all have decided that this resistance is not one that can be intimidated.
Wow, she's fueling the fire. Why don't you just dump lighter fluid on this? It's terrible.
That regardless of what the tyrant in the White House
goodness.
Ain't no point in responding to that. You know, if you're an American, born here 100%, ain't no point in responding to the dumb shit. I'm glad you're here, but nobody's gonna get deported.
That's not what this is. This is open warfare with the federal government. No one's standing up for their neighbors peacefully. This is violence.
Right, if you stand in front of your vehicle, block traffic, follow them around, yeah, you get your ass arrested and lock the fuck up.
Meanwhile, the president
Stop watching The View.
Making her one of the leaders of the Democrat Party. This is their brand now.
Here, and she tells us about our Constitution. I have a constitutional
what she
right
does.
to rip off the country. I guess she's a total scam artist. Anybody knows.
Congresswoman, Republicans have repeatedly stated that you committed immigration fraud. Are you at all worried about a formal investigation that could perhaps lead to your deportation?
Thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Small challenge trying to get there. Humble.
What about the
Deunta.
Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have? Why should I have? What happened in your state? Don't you want to defend your position?
She's involved.
There were people from my state that were there.
Hey Jimmy, if he got arrested, he can sue them. It's the law. He can sue them.
Doesn't want to be there.
I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up?
Why would there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I?
Because it happened.
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Just ask stupid questions.
These are not stupid questions. Her net worth has skyrocketed over the last 10 years. Her campaign held fundraisers at some of the restaurants that were run by people implicated in these fraud schemes that got government money. These are not stupid questions.
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota. You don't think so? Really? Yeah.
Wow.
And counting. Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are
And it got stolen.
Okay.
So you genuinely, your brain has told you that it is possible.
MAGA baby.
I'm just going off of what
our public service,
And she's a public servant.
Saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come
listen
forward.
to yourself, though. Just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that whistleblowers are being retaliated against for exposing the fraud. Why is that? Why are they being tracked and traced?
Think about what you're asking. Who is tracing whistleblowers?
Minnesota state officials, Tim Walz.
Look at the look on her face, man. She does not want to be part of this conversation. Meanwhile, look at this ISIS out there raiding the homes of some of these dangerous individuals who shouldn't even be in the country.
Federal agents
crazy.
at the door and voices can be heard saying they're getting a warrant.
You say have the paper before you hit the door.
The video shows agents
they've got the
making their
paper.
way into the home and detaining a man inside. In this new court filing by the attorney for Garrison Gibson, that's the man from the video. It says he's been here from Liberia for 2 decades. Court documents also allege Gibson has constantly complied with his OOS. It goes on to say at no point has he ever been deemed a danger to his community of flight risk or has been convicted of any new crime warranting detention.
But he's in the country illegally. What, we're not supposed to be able to deport people that are here illegally and have broken immigration law? No, if someone breaks immigration law, we're told they should be able to stay here forever as long as they're on their best behavior afterwards. Is that the logic? Meanwhile, look at who they're finding.
More arrests, and these ones are specific to criminal illegal immigrants. We just learned from ICE that they have arrested at least 1,000 that have criminal history since this operation began at the end of November. So we have some of these exclusive arrest details to share with you today. ICE arresting 13 members of some of the world's most dangerous criminal gangs in Minnesota, which of course is a sanctuary jurisdiction. Now, the criminal illegal immigrants who are members of criminal gangs like MS-13, which has been designated as a terrorist organization, ISIS, Oriental Boys, and more, they have extensive rap sheets that include homicide, assault, and weapons crimes. These are some of the faces that you're looking at here on your screen.
Yet Ilhan Omar tells us that because these people aren't of Somali descent, that there's some sort of cover story for ICE continuing to remain in Minnesota, as if having gang members like this in America anywhere is a good idea. You have to love criminals and want to defend them if you're going to stick up for folks that shouldn't be here and are this dangerous.
Chaos erupted after federal officials accused a female protester of strobing vehicles, which is illegal. They surged out, as you can see here. They deployed at least 4 flashbangs. They took that woman into custody, but she was actually released a short time later. One other protester was taken into custody in the skirmish. Now, it's really interesting here last night, Nicole, while we were at
Why are there skirmishes if this is peaceful?
Midnight, protesters showed up to the hotel that we were at as well, and they were actually setting off fireworks. They were using megaphones and loudspeakers and trying to make a lot of noise because their goal is to keep federal officers and agents from being able to sleep so that they can't go out and do these operations. So that's just a little bit of what we experienced last night.
I think they're going to do the operations whether they get enough sleep or not.
Continue here at the federal building. A smaller group today, but it is extremely cold.
Why are they at a federal?
Best way to solve this problem is by working together to pass that kind of common sense law. But until that happens, there are actions I have the legal authority to take as president. The same kinds of actions taken by Democratic and Republican presidents before me that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions. First, we'll build on our progress at the border with additional resources for our law enforcement personnel so that they can stem the flow of illegal crossings and speed the return of those who do cross over. Second, I'll make it easier and faster for high-skilled immigrants, graduates, and entrepreneurs to stay and contribute to our economy, as so many business leaders have proposed. Third, we'll take steps to deal responsibly with the millions of undocumented immigrants who already live in our country.
Listen up, listen up.
I want to say more about this third issue because it generates the most passion and controversy.
The third issue, listen.
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws.
Hello.
And I believe that they must be held accountable.
Hello.
Especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security. Felons, not families. Criminals, not children. Gang members, not a mom who's working hard to provide for her kids. We'll prioritize, just like law enforcement does every day. But even as we focus on deporting criminals, the fact is millions of immigrants in every state, of every race and nationality, still live here illegally. And let's be honest, tracking down, rounding up, and deporting millions of people isn't realistic. Anyone who suggests otherwise isn't being straight with you. It's also not who we are as Americans. After all, most of these immigrants have been here a long time. They work hard, often in tough, low-paying jobs. They support their families. They worship at our churches. Many of their kids are American-born or spent most of their lives here. And their hopes, dreams, and patriotism are just like ours. As my predecessor, President Bush, once put it, they are a part of American life.
That is true. But don't come here like that. Come here the right way. Don't come as criminals. Don't cross the border bogus. Let's continue.
Federal building. Why do you need to go to a federal building where there's nothing going on and yell at it? That is just so ridiculous. How can you take off time from work to get out there in the bitter cold and do that? Are these people working or are they being paid? That's another question.
This is interesting, too, because a judge this morning declined to issue a temporary restraining order
very mad about
against
this.
ICE, seeking further evidence before issuing a ruling. That's according to CBS News. Now, that lawsuit filed by Minnesota Attorney General looked to stop DHS from surging more resources to the area
going.
But hundreds more have already arrived and more are coming, joining the 2,000 federal agents and officers already here. And Nicole,
They are very mad about that.
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted.
They just told us.
That explains why you are wasting so much of our taxpayer resources and also terrorizing our communities in the amount of federal law enforcement agents that you have in the streets of our city and our state. There needs to be some sort of justification.
Ilhan Omar suddenly cares about the waste of taxpayer resources. Very interesting to hear her talking about taxpayer money flying out the door for reasons that might not be legitimate, isn't it? Speaking of which, the fraud here
turn our attention
keeps
back
getting
to the Somali
worse.
fraud investigation, as we've discussed before.
Listen to
Authorities
this.
have discovered suitcases containing hundreds of millions of dollars in a Minnesota airport. Now, in the meantime, Republicans are looking to cut funding for Somali-led organizations with alleged ties to the massive fraud
This is
scandal.
crazy.
As the FBI pushes forward with its own investigation, one key question arises: what does accountability
where did
even
this
look
money
like
come
in
from?
this case moving forward? So joining us now to talk about all of this and more is New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
This is crazy.
Great to be on with you too. What a crazy time we're seeing here.
Right. How are they bringing bags of money to the
insanity,
airport?
and I know oversight in the House is looking into these fraud allegations, but I wonder if it's even bigger than we have uncovered thus far.
It's a nationwide scam. That's why they're fighting so hard in Minnesota.
I have a feeling we are still just scratching the surface.
Me too.
Yeah, it looks really bad, and obviously
it is really
alarming to see that this U.S. cash has been legally going through our airports. And of course, there is a requirement of reporting if you're going to carry more than $10,000.
And that's why they have it in plastic, so the dogs don't
I think a
find
really
it.
interesting part about this is if isn't it going to be a little suspicious when you start seeing 10,000, 100,000, millions, and now more, as John reported earlier, more money that goes through jail.
If somebody goes through an airport with a suitcase, it doesn't even have clothes in it, it just has money. This is a one-way trip. That person's never coming back. And then the other question is, who are they? How did they get this money? Are they on government benefits of some sort? Do they run an empty daycare in Minnesota? These are huge questions that people are starting to ask.
Something's wrong there. And I think something that's very interesting that we impose on banks is that banks are required under banking law to require and file
Why doesn't the TSA
what they
do
call
that?
suspicious activity reports. This is something I think we need to do now when we see the large amounts of U.S. cash.
Yeah,
It's
right.
always U.S. cash. I mean, you're not going to see Chinese yen or anything else going through there. And U.S. cash is king, and we need to certainly have this type of cash exchange reported. It's interesting because you see all this illegal immigration we've had over this time. And by the way, most of those Somalis that are in Minnesota probably came through a refugee program, and probably many of them are already legal American citizens. So suspicious activity reports, some kind of accounting for cash, I think would really be helpful.
It sure would be. But you know what? We might actually be dealing with an organized fraud scheme here that is bigger than anyone's mentioned so far.
The president of the United States is never going to make a decision about what to do or what not to do based on how it might upset the violent left-wing insurgents. His obligation, what he is supremely committed to, is enforcing and upholding the sovereignty of the United States. I'm familiar with the video that you're referencing, where a mob of Somali refugees swarmed ICE officers, and the profound contempt this refugee population that has built this nation has for our country, our flag, our law enforcement officers. And what I would just say to reassure your audience, to reassure you, is that under the new federal surge that has taken place and the additional assets that...
If you're at home, ICE can't arrest you, especially if you're an American. If you don't take your car to Minnesota and block traffic for 3 minutes or 4 minutes blocking traffic, and they ask you to get out the car and you drive away, you on bullshit. Stop watching The View. Stop watching CNN. ICE agents are not Gestapos. Stop listening to Tampon Tim. These governors, these blue states, they on bullshit. When Obama was deporting people, nobody didn't say anything. The Republicans didn't say nothing. The red states didn't say nothing because they was getting the immigrants out of here. That's why Republicans was quiet. Y'all Democrats don't know what to do.
That have been put in place under President Trump's direction, under Secretary Noem's leadership. We now have the resources we need, not only to protect the safety and security of our ICE officers and our border agents and their operations, but to begin the work of identifying, disrupting, and dismantling these insurgent networks. As you
great terminology there. Insurgent networks. That's what we're looking at on the left field of America today. We've got these insurgent networks that are a hodgepodge of Antifa, the goons funded by open borders arrangements, cartels, possibly foreign interests that want to see the U.S. border back open, and these new fraud rings that take advantage of welfare programs, regardless of where those people might be from. We got fraud, welfare-related scams going on all over this country, and together they form a network of criminal activity that's all fighting for the same cause on the streets of Minnesota right now.
They're very coordinated. They have ICE spotters and ICE watchers. They use chats to communicate with each other, to identify the location, and then they train their insurgents on how to block ICE
That's
vehicles,
what we're witnessing.
how to try to free arrestees, and then they dox ICE officers, they follow them home, they follow them to where they sleep at night.
Terrible,
So again, it's a sophisticated insurgency involving a large number of radicalized, extremist, violent left-wing operators stoked by the Democrat Party. The resources and strategy is in place now, and you're going to see significant numbers. There's already been in recent days a huge increase in arrests of domestic insurgents, but those numbers are going to increase.
They
I
need
just want
to
to put this back to the American people. You said it, Laura. Americans voted in a landslide to uphold the sovereignty of this country.
And that's the one thing that is on the line with all of this fraud. The sovereignty of our country is in jeopardy. If people can set up a fake daycare or medical office or charity somewhere and immediately just get millions of dollars from the federal government, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. The sanctity and sovereignty of our country is also on the line if these mobs can just come out of their homes and attack federal officers in federal jails whenever they want. That is lawlessness. That is open rebellion, which is being stoked by these politicians riding around in the back of pickup trucks screaming about freedom. Strange times we're living in. What do you think is going on in Minnesota? Do you think this is part of something bigger that's going to happen for the entire year right up until the midterm elections? Is this going to make you vote differently in the midterm elections? Let me know. I'll see you in the next video.
Every president since 9/11 has conducted ICE raids all around the country.
Why are you sensational?
President Obama. And now while Obama, during his, most Democrats, they don't even know that every president since 9/11 has conducted ICE raids all around the country, including their beloved President Obama. And now while Obama beefed up his deportation numbers by counting those turned away at the border, he technically still deported millions of illegal aliens, no protesting from the radical left. And according to Pew Research, most of those deported, they were non-criminals. But here's how fake news CNN covered Barack Obama and his ICE raids back in 2016. Pay close attention to the difference.
Just before the sun rises in the Windy City, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents fan out across Chicago to arrest criminals in the U.S. illegally.
Tac 1, Tac 2, Tac 3.
CNN was granted exclusive access to witness some of those raids.
They want to come out extra early, like right now, because they want to catch these people before they go to work. That's why it starts so early in the morning.
All right, let's roll, guys. Now compare that to the current coverage of ICE raids under President Donald J. Trump. Take a look.
They are going in and ripping, as you said, people that have grown up here, also hardworking people. This is about a secret police force that Donald Trump and the Republicans have unleashed on American streets and cities.
Most Democrats, they don't even know.
That's crazy, people. That's real crazy.
camera, y'all, I got some red, hot, spicy, barbecue blazing clips for you of Representative.
Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you.
Absolutely losing it when a reporter just asked her a simple question about the billions and billions and God knows even more billions of dollars of fraud that have been committed in her state by, to her own admission, her own people, the Somali migrant community. Wait till you see this. Plus, I'm telling y'all, I don't say this often, but I mean it with every fiber of my being. Stick around because I'm going to share with you a masterclass clip of our brave commander of immigration operations, Greg Bovino, who recently connected with us, Nez Nation, our movement to make common sense go viral. We're going to have him on our show pretty soon.
Thank you.
Wait till you see this clip of his masterful response to Fried Brain Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, as well as Tim Walz and the rest of them when they say, get the F out of Minnesota. You don't want to miss that. But first, where do you get a load of this?
Congresswoman, Republicans have repeatedly stated that you committed immigration fraud. Are you at all worried about a formal investigation that could perhaps lead to your deportation?
Oh, you're one of those people.
I don't know what that means, but are you at all concerned?
Do I look concerned?
I guess not. Okay. What about the Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have?
Why should I have?
Well, it happened in your state. Don't you want to defend your position?
There were people from my state that were there.
Okay, but why not you? I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up?
Why would there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I be complicit?
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Just ask stupid questions. This is your thing.
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota.
Minnesota's tripping, man.
You don't think so? Really? Yeah.
Fraud is not racist.
Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are allocated.
Okay.
So you genuinely, your brain has told you that it is possible for half of the resources.
I'm just going off of what
for our public service to half disappear is what you're saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come forward.
Yourself, though. I'm just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that whistleblowers are being retaliated against.
Right, ICE agents are federal agents.
Why are they being tracked?
They're federal.
Who is
Federally funded.
Minnesota state officials, Tim Walz, anyone who dares to speak out against the government.
Tim Walz is doing something to whistleblowers?
Why is Tim Walz stepping down if he's, innocent? Why is he running for re-election?
MAGA.
Because he's had 8 years to serve as our great governor.
He was going to be vice president of the United States and Camel won.
And he would have been an excellent vice
But
president.
now he's stepping down.
Better than the person we have right now.
And now he's stepping down as governor. Any comment on that? You don't think he's maybe complicit?
He is focusing on trying to make sure our state remains great.
Great.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Please read.
I got a question. If you're innocent, if you haven't done anything wrong, I want you to answer this in the comments.
Thank you.
Would you respond in the way that mentally Ilhan responded?
Got the black version too.
Typical, abrasive,
Never surrender.
belligerent, rude, offensive. I mean, somebody needs to remind this person that you're a public servant, Ilhan. You work for us. Not only is it your obligation and duty to respond to constituents, to the press, to residents, to taxpayers, it is your duty as you took the oath of office. It is your constitutional duty for you to treat a reporter this way, for just simply asking very easy questions. What are your thoughts on this fraud? Why didn't you show up? What's going on with the whistleblowers? Why did Tim Walz to act so arrogant, rude, offensive? Please, you should go read. I mean, boy, if I was if Professor Nez was there, y'all, holy macadamia nut. But here's my question to you. Just answer me down below. If you didn't do anything wrong, if you're innocent, why would you act that way? I mean, this is psychology 101. It's defense mechanism. When you're extremely defensive, you raise your voice, you get sarcastic, you get rude, you attack personal ad hominem. That's a sign. You're not happy.
Right, how the hell am black supremacist? I'm a small YouTube person. Lived in Chicago, live in Rockford, named Deunta.
Cornered, caught, red-handed.
That's crazy.
Etc. Etc. Am I wrong? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But here, I got a bonus clip. I told you they were blazing clips, y'all. I got a bonus clip. That same reporter followed up with mentally Ilhan after that. Why don't you go read comment? Watch.
Congresswoman Omar, yesterday you told me to please read when I asked you about the $9 billion fraud that you denied is happening, but I have it right here. I read. Look, Chairman Comer opens hearing on massive fraud scandal, $9 billion.
That's what Comer believes because he's as smart as you are.
It's not just Comer. It's Scott Besson. It's federal prosecutors. It's House oversight.
Absolutely.
And it's Minnesota State Reps.
You can have that, ma'am. I think you need to get examined because your brain has been fried in some way, and it's not okay. I really hope you get some help. You and the Republicans here. Take care, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry,
vaccinated.
the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read what's actually
one of those learning centers.
I need one of those learning centers.
Yes.
Kudos to that reporter from Lindell TV. I give you all full credit. Fantastic question. Way to follow up. You know what's so absolutely damning about that clip? What's damning about her position? What makes it seem abundantly clear that what Nick Shirley discovered just by asking questions at all these leering centers where nobody was there were no children, there were no operations, hours of operation. They kicked them out. They were vindictive. They were violent. They called the police. I don't know a business owner on planet Earth. You get a new client, you got a perspective. Look at this. You're a real estate agent. You want to sell this home. Somebody says, I'm interested in buying the home. Do you call the police? I don't think so. But the real kind of damning part here is, did you hear the way that she gaslit that reporter? In almost the same repulsive, low base way, you need to seek help. I think there's something wrong with you. You know, I don't come from an abusive family, but I'm teaching at the university and working with young people. I've talked to a lot of kids and a lot of students of mine who've had abusive homes and homes that were broken, et cetera, and came from broken homes, as a matter of fact. And they have told me repeatedly, this is the first thing I thought of, that my father always told my mother she's crazy, or my mother always says my father needs help, or I don't know, does my mom need a doctor? Maybe and I go, why do you think your mom needs a doctor? Well, my dad keeps saying that she's sick in the head. I always ask my dad, why are you always mad at mom? This kind of gaslighting, low, foul, base way of treating this reporter from mentally Ilhan, given the fact that you are a representative of the United States Congress. You're a public servant. You took an oath of office. You're being asked very simple questions that are all based on verified facts, that there is billions of, way more than $9 billion in fraud. You have defrauded the American taxpayer. You think Tim Walz did a great job. It's so absurd. You got guilty written all over you, Ilhan. And I hope to God you do get denaturalized and deported. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. But wait, there's more. There's more. This is who they are. When I say that I've worked with them, as somebody who worked at the university, multiple universities for 20 years, when I say I know them, when I say Obama, Kamala, Clooney, they all have that elitist academic narcissism, which is the worst, most ruthless, self-absorbed, self-interested narcissism out there. Here's more proof. Give credit here to Bill Malugin from Fox News, who questions this insidious, total academic in sheep's clothing, Maxine Dexter from Oregon, about why she was so quick to call the ICE agent simply doing his job, who had an attempted murder committed on his life. This guy actually has internal bleeding now. There's brand new reports. So obviously she tried to run him over. Obviously she tried to obstruct eyes. I've debunked the video. Watch this video, which is demonstrative and emblematic of everything I'm saying about these people. They're all the same. Watch.
Bill Malugin with Fox News. Quick question. Why didn't you wait for any facts to come out on the Portland Border Patrol shooting before you put your statement out?
I did not make a statement about the...
You did. It's on Twitter.
No, I made a statement. I did not say anything about whether or not those folks were rightfully having...
You said ICE is terrorizing the community. It wasn't ICE, it was Border Patrol, and you said
My question for you is, did they follow due process? And the answer is no. Those folks were shot before they had...
Those folks were 2 Venezuelan gang members who both local police and local police in Portland say they were.
I met with the police chief, and it is not that clear. So alleged is not due process.
So do you consider those alleged Tren de Aragua gang members to be your neighbors? You said, we got to show up for our neighbors.
We have to show up for our community, and our community is feeling terrorized right now. They are outraged that people are being shot without having any detainment or due process in the court of law.
Did you see the photos DOJ put out of the Ram Border Patrol vehicle, almost totaled?
I have seen photos, sir, and I have nothing to say about these 2 people and whether or not they have criminal history or other things to be detained. That is not the issue. The issue is that we are not following due process. Our law enforcement should be accountable to the law.
Last question, we'll let you go. You called for an end to all immigration operations in Portland, all ICE operations. Do you still stand by that, given the fact that these do appear to be criminal, illegal alien gang members?
Again, sir, alleged is not being prosecuted in the court of law and having a jury find that that's true. If they have immigration violations, that will be dealt with by an immigration judge. I stand by ICE needing to be accountable to the law, and enforcement needs to be ceased until we can guarantee that there is accountability to the law. Thank you.
Can you imagine, America, how amazing, how awesome, how successful, how much more successful, I should say, because we are successful, how much greater our country would be doing right now if we didn't have these criminal, thug-loving, sympathizing, killer, they all, just like Holly Weirdo, they fight tooth and nail for criminals. They fight tooth and nail for illegals. They fight tooth and nail for gangsters, murderers, terrorists, rapists. They wear pins for people who attempt murder on our law enforcement officers. And this is more proof. They won't come on my show. I've invited all of them. This is more proof why they go on all these woke media launching pads, essentially, that platform their insanity. Never fact-checking, because as soon as they get confronted with facts, like Bill did and that excellent reporter from Lindell TV did on Ilhan, they stumble, they fumble, they feel cornered, wounded, they attack. They don't intelligently compose themselves and say, no, let me just... if you really were American and you represented Americans, I would hope that you would take the time to maybe educate. If you're on the side of right, you know you did nothing wrong, maybe perhaps, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, you're right, and which they're not. But let's just say for hypothetical sake, and these reporters or whatever are asking questions that are really out of the realm of reality, why don't you just take the time out, take a step back with composure, with humanity? These are Americans. And say, hey, you know what? You're asking me questions right now, and I got to tell you honestly, they're really, really misinformed, and they don't have any base. Let me tell you why. And share facts and data in a calm, forthright, insightful fact. No, but they don't do that. They attack. They attack because they're guilty. You imagine how amazing our country would be if we didn't have these crooks in any business.
If you guys get a chance, go to Fox News, Fox 9. This is 7 years ago. 7 years ago. They talking about the suitcase money falling off the suitcase. Money falling off the suitcase at the airport. Wow. Watch this shit here.
Is based on public records and nearly a dozen government sources who have direct knowledge of what's happening. These sources have a deep fear, and there's evidence to support their concerns that some of that public money is ending up in the hands of terrorists. We begin at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, where mysterious suitcases filled with cash have become a fairly common carry-on.
I'm not saying.
It's the morning of March 15th. We're chasing a tip about a man who's...
I'm not saying Fox News is telling the truth. All social media and media be bullshit and lying. But the fact this is 7 years ago that millions of dollars has fell out suitcases. And just in the video I was showing with Nick Shirley that somebody had mentioned about money going through ATS, and it was millions of dollars. As long as you sign a certain form, you can just listen.
Leaving the country. Our sources tell us he just took a carry-on bag through security that was packed with $1 million cash. You can do that as long as you fill out one of these government forms. We're told these cloak and dagger-like scenarios now happen almost weekly at MSP International. The money is usually headed to the Middle East, Dubai, and points beyond. Our sources say last year alone, more than $100 million cash left MSP in carry-on luggage.
What we were interested in is where it was going.
The national go-to expert on what's behind these mysterious money transfers is Glenn Kearns. He's a former Seattle police detective who spent 15 years on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force until his retirement.
It's an outright crime. It's unbelievable.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official bank.
Okay. Now watch this. Watch this. This is crazy.
And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota? Haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Learning Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and selling it.
Stay with me, people. Just stay with me.
What's your message about the fraud here in Minnesota?
Just hold on.
This is $1.9 million.
Hold on.
24 of those years I worked in narcotics.
You're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there's reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA. And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the
That's
airport
crazy.
for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport.
As you can see, that was 2018 when this happened. Millions of dollars falling out of the plane, out of the sky. How you want to put it? That's crazy. So what's going on, man? The facts is facts. It comes from Fox News, CNN. The truth is the truth.
And my recollection was from about 2015-16
All right, Tonya. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
2021 when I retired.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the likes. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
I would get emails from our dispatch saying like 2 male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this. Then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
How much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with $2.2 million and another guy with $3 million. And
at airports,
course, you're able to take $10,000.
Help a brother out, like and subscribe.
How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then
That's crazy.
TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one individual. We were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move into the airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the world are they getting this money?
Right.
And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I thought at the
Even
time,
address
okay,
spelled
maybe they
wrong.
had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through the out.
I saw one time. I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years. You're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying,
Nobody didn't
people
catch it.
flying out with $1 to $2 to $3 to $4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So this is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai, and then apparently what I had heard was it was too dangerous to go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a whole bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So all the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
Yes. It appears that's how it all went down. Yes.
That's great.
Is Glenn Kearns. What we were interested in is where it was going.
The national go-to expert on what's behind these mysterious money transfers is Glenn Kearns. He's a former Seattle police detective who spent 15 years on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force until his retirement.
It's an outright crime. It's unbelievable.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official banking system. Some immigrant communities rely on hawalas to send funds to help impoverished relatives back home. Kearns discovered some of the money was being funneled to a hawala in a region of Somalia that's controlled by the Al-Shabaab terrorist group.
So I talked to a couple sources who had lived in that region, and I said, if money is going to this hawala, do you think it's going to Al-Shabaab? And he said, oh, definitely. That area is controlled by Al-Shabaab, and they control the hawala there.
He says when the money arrives, whether it was intended for legitimate purposes or not, Al-Shabaab or other groups demand a cut. As Kearns dug deeper, he found that some of the individuals who were sending out tens of thousands of dollars worth of remittance payments happened to be on government assistance in this country. How could they possibly come up with such big bucks to transfer back home?
We had sources that told us it's all about it's welfare fraud. It's all about the daycare.
To better understand the connection between daycare fraud and the surge in carry-on cash, you have to look at the history of the...
Again, this is 7 years ago. 7 years ago. So the other guy that I was showing him, Nick Shirley, that's a different guy, probably much younger. But this is the other guy. This is his face, and this is going on 7 years ago. Listen to the video. Like and subscribe.
This crime. 5 years ago, the Fox 9 investigators were first to report that daycare fraud was on the rise here in Minnesota. We exposed how some businesses were gaming the system to steal millions in government subsidies meant to help low-income families with their child care expenses.
This is a great way to make some money. I think it's kind of that informal word of mouth.
In order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care assistance funding. These surveillance videos are from a case prosecuted by Hennepin County. They show parents checking their kids into a center.
This video is 7 years ago. 8 years ago. Y'all see the date on there. Y'all see the date. Amazing. Like and subscribe.
Only to leave with them a few minutes later. Sometimes no children would show up. But either
So this
way,
been going
the
on.
center
So
would
Nick
bill
been,
the
so
state
this ain't nothing
for
new
a
to
full
Nick. This
day
been
of
going on.
child care. This video from that same case shows a man handing out envelopes of what are believed to be kickback payments to parents who are in on the fraud.
Where was the money going? I don't know exactly where it went, but it adds up when you begin to look at how many people are involved.
One recent federal case points to at least some of the money going overseas.
Uh-oh.
This is video of Fozia Ali being sworn in as a member of the City of Hopkins Park Board. As she was taking her oath of office, she was also under investigation for wire fraud and theft of public money.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
State and federal agents had already raided Ali's daycare center in South Minneapolis. The business was suspected of billing the government for over $1 million worth of bogus child care services.
We found records that indicated that she was collecting a significant amount of money for a much larger number of children than were actually attending the center.
Did any of the money go overseas?
We are aware that some of the funds went overseas, which she was cashing out money from the business.
Do you have any idea what it was going for?
Thank you.
Can't say or don't know.
I can't say.
Investigators analyzed Ali's cell phone to track her activities. She'd taken a 2-month trip from Minnesota to Dubai and then Kenya, staying at times in $800 a night hotel rooms. She used an app on her phone to bill the state of Minnesota for child care services while she was out of the country. Ali
Amazing.
pled guilty to the daycare fraud, and this March started serving time in a federal prison. She declined our request for an interview.
We believe that there's a scope of fraud out there that we need to really get our arms around and ensure that those dollars are going to the kids that really need them.
The acting commissioner for the Department of Human Services told us his agency has 10 daycares currently under active investigation for fraud. We've learned dozens more are considered suspicious. Search warrants obtained by the Fox 9 investigators show each one of the suspect centers has received several $1 million in child care assistance funds. According to public records and government sources, most are owned by Somali immigrants.
Do you have any evidence to suggest this looks like organized crime?
There's a common pattern in how a lot of these are carried out, but beyond that, not something that I would directly categorize as organized crime.
Sources in the Somali community tell us it's an open secret that starting a daycare center is a license to make money.
Again, this video is old.
That people buy shares of
2018
daycare
videos
businesses
came out.
get a cut of the huge public subsidies that are pouring in. Some government insiders believe this scam is costing the state at least $100 million a year, half of all child care subsidies.
Is that within the realm of possibility?
I don't think half sounds credible. I certainly think that some of the schemes...
I'm Deunta. This kind of brother I am. Deunta, how you doing, man?
Prosecution involve millions of dollars.
But that's crazy.
It's not a small scale that we're looking at.
Minnesota started aggressively going after daycare fraud in 2014. Back then,
2014.
it was easier to track the flow of money. The state would pay a daycare's bill.
2014.
Hours of the
wow.
money showing up in the business's bank account, funds were being wired to the United Arab Emirates. But those wire transfers stopped after a few centers were busted, which takes us back to the suitcases of cash at Minneapolis St. Paul International. In 2015, investigators documented 14 million in carry-on cash. By 2016, it had mushroomed to 84 million, and then last year, 100 million. A trend all too familiar to former terrorism investigator Glenn Kirk. How much confidence can you say that it's likely some of this money is going towards terrorism?
I'd say absolutely. Absolutely. Our sources tell us that. Good sources from the community.
Like and subscribe.
My personal feeling is we need a nationwide task force to clamp down on this kind of fraud.
This crime is spreading. Our sources tell us fraudsters in other states are now using the Minnesota playbook to rip off millions of public dollars meant to help kids. I'm Fox 9 investigator Jeff Ballion.
I say this a lot.
Amazing, people. Come on, man. Fraud is not racist. Fraud is not racist. It's a crime. It has no color. Like and subscribe.
Good afternoon, beautiful people, and happy Wednesday. I want to remind everyone that what happened in Minnesota was not some kind of isolated, because once you start to look around and begin connecting the dots, you quickly notice the exact same patterns of fraud shown up in Maine. Different state, same playbook, same place. So today we are going to walk through how Medicaid fraud isn't just a Minnesota problem, it's a national one. And how Maine is now following the same dangerous path that led Minnesota straight into chaos. Let's get into it. Welcome to Names in U.S. History, including Feeding Our Future, daycare fraud, housing fraud, Medicaid fraud, transportation service fraud, you name it, they have it. Hundreds of millions of dollars are gone, billions of dollars gone. Warning signs ignored, audits buried, whistleblowers were silenced. And where was the media? Either asleep at the wheel or deliberately looking the other way. Now fast forward to Maine. A
Like and
whistleblower
subscribe.
is accusing a Maine contractor of defrauding taxpayers out of millions of dollars over a 7-year period through Medicaid. When he tried to report it, silence. He contacted state auditors. He contacted federal authorities. No response, nothing. Sounds familiar, right? Same types of program, same lack of oversight, same political silence, just a different state, concerning the same group of people.
Blower is now accusing a contractor in Maine of defrauding taxpayers out of millions of dollars over the course of 7 years. It's a story you'll see first here on the Hill and exclusively on News Nation, and it centers on Maine's Medicaid program. The business at the center of the allegations, founded by a Somali American, drawing comparisons perhaps to the scandal that has rocked the state of Minnesota. Our Rich McHugh joins us live tonight from Lewiston, Maine, with his exclusive reporting. Hello, Rich.
Hi, Blake. Yeah, we're here in Maine, but this story is eerily reminiscent of the scandal that's evolving in Minnesota. We spoke with a whistleblower who alleges that millions have been built from the state here, from taxpayers and the Medicaid system. And
Damn,
a
dumpster
Somali
fire, damn.
American-led health services contractor is at the center of it all.
I thought that we were doing the right thing this whole time. And the more I started digging, the more I started finding.
Joe Biden,
and I just couldn't believe what I was
Sleepy Joe.
seeing, that this was happening, and that I was part of this.
Chris Bernardini spent 7 years working for Gateway Community Services, a Somali American-led health services contractor in Maine. Bernardini alleges Gateway oversaw a system in which false records were filed about client visits. And he says they charged taxpayers for providing services that were never performed.
We started getting some clients saying that, calling and saying, months later that their client owed them hours. They hadn't come in for these shifts and stuff. But I had a a time card for it, and they were billing for it. They were billing for it.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Independent investigators, not just the mainstream press, started noticing strange billing patterns inside Maine's Medicaid program, known as MaineCare. Clusters of home care LLCs registered to the same address. Investigators knocking on doors during normal business hours. Nobody home. Week after week. No staff, no patients, no service. But somehow millions of taxpayer dollars were still being paid out. This was not at all accidental. It was deliberate and it was systemic.
In March of 2022, Gateway received a notice of violation from the state's Maine Care Services Program Integrity Unit based on an audit of records taken at random from January 2017 through December of 2018. Gateway overbilled by an estimated $904,000.
In your professional opinion, what you saw was fraud. Absolute.
Like and subscribe.
No doubt about it.
Happy Thursday.
But Bernardini says when the pandemic hit, it got worse.
I started seeing bonuses, $2,000 bonuses going to these staff that had only been with us for 2 weeks, never worked a shift with a client. And yet the PPP loan comes, you're giving $2,000 away like they're lollipops at a doctor's office.
In April of 2024, Bernardini wrote to the Department of Homeland Security seeking whistleblower protection. They referred him back to the state of Maine. Nearly a year later, Gateway fired Bernardini. The company's founder and CEO is Abdullahi Ali, a Somali American who, while at the time serving as executive director for Gateway, last year ran for president of Jubaland, a state in Somalia's south.
He touched down not even 4 hours ago. That was a quick trip, but as you said, very impactful. He has allocated to invest in police departments and training of police officers. It appears as though the president did have a slight trip there as he's boarding Air Force One.
Damn! Get the president.
No matter what their cost, 2, 10, 12, 15, Pope stepping on them. It's black. Anyway.
Uh-oh, here we go. Watch out for that sandbag. Damn!
Joe Biden wants to run again when he can barely walk. Sad, really. Anyway, that's it. That's it for now. Follow me on Twitter.
That borders Kenya. Last week, he posted on X, "I make no apologies for building a successful business in Maine, working hard to earn a living, earning my PhD, giving back to my Maine community, and running for office in Jubaland. I am proud to contribute my hard-earned dollars to support my people back home." We reached out to Ali for comment multiple times. We even came to Gateway to try and speak with him.
Hello, I'm with News Nation.
That's crazy, man.
No comments?
Y'all voted for that.
Is Mr. Ali here?
Y'all voted for that, man.
So independent journalists have been sounding the alarm for years around MaineCare, and yet nothing was done. It's not really a Maine scandal, the Minnesota scandal, or the Ohio scandal. It is all just one scandal, conducted by the same groups of people as if they know something that we all don't know. And I can never unhear Ilhan Omar stating that Americans are stupid. And once you see the lack of oversight that went into these programs, once you see how regular people who aren't the brightest in a group manage to defraud a system of millions of dollars personally and billions collectively, it makes you wonder.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really
Thank
hard
you for describing.
to
Thank you.
have
Thank
an
you.
intellectual debate with any of these people, because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans, and that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
Are Americans stupid? Have the dumbing of Americans begun? Because I still cannot fathom how the Somali community did it. Basically, once they say, you are racist for looking into my business, everyone just cowardly looked away. This is why everyone who was in power in those states, those who were in charge of oversight, need to face some sort of consequence. This blatant misuse of taxpayer dollars is disgusting. At one point, Gateway Community Services grew into a $5 million a year operation funded largely by taxpayer money. No bid contracts, government grants, PP loans, all flowing freely with virtually no oversight. How do you justify that to Americans who've worked 30 to 40 years, paid taxes, and haven't achieved a quarter of what was stolen? And of course, Gateway has denied the allegations. We're all just jealous of their success.
An organization in Portland is denying accusations that staff overbilled main care in order to fund Somali militia groups. Those claims focus on Gateway Community Services, which connects immigrants in Maine with counseling and case management. A man who now lives in Florida told News Nation that he used to work for Gateway and that he saw the misuse of
You
public
bored now?
funds.
Okay, I understand, man.
Chris Costa has been digging into this and explains where this all stands.
A DHHS spokesperson said it's program integrity.
Yes, I'm not.
Wasn't that a shame, Abe? She gonna need a new window. Oh, she's got insurance for that. The Lamentations, boys and girls, love it. All of these lefty screams, all of the panics. I love the sound of windows breaking. I love the sound of you performative resistance LARPers finding out law and order is still a thing, idiots. And ain't nobody on Donald Trump's side apparently backing down. We need to replace Pam Bondi. But ICE ain't backing down. ICE is surging in Minnesota. I think they're sending another 1,000 agents. They're going to be up to like 3,000 plus agents. Congratulations, idiots. How'd that work out for you? Some of you losing your life, losing your eyeballs, losing your windshields over here. All you have to do is protest legally and lawfully. You refuse to do that. Your side refuses to acknowledge that you're not legally, peacefully protesting. You're impeding and obstructing. You're committing crimes. And then you think that you don't have to, look at this stupid police officer over here. He's not a real police officer, so I don't have to listen to him. You go and bust out your window, then they're going to tow your car, and then you're going to get arrested. Again, for LARPing reasons, you're doing all of this on behalf of illegal aliens. No, I'm doing it for my neighbors. Your neighbors that are illegal aliens. Again, ICE isn't arresting American citizens. Again, no, they are now. Well, no, they're not arresting American citizens for immigration. They're arresting American citizens because you guys are committing federal obstruction of justice. Yeah, you guys are. Anyway, so this one over here, she's following them around. She's hitting her horn, and she's alerting illegal aliens that ICE is about to arrest them. You're aiding and abetting illegal aliens. You're alerting people that the cops are there. You're obstructing justice. That's a federal crime. The federal police can federally arrest you, even if you're an American citizen. So now they're telling her to get out of the car. She's like, I don't want to get out of the car. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to listen to you. And the guy spends a minute, an entire minute. A minute's an eternity. Roll down your window. Get out of the car. Roll down your window. Get out of the car. You're under arrest now. Get out of the car. No. Oh my God, no.
No, I'm an American citizen. That doesn't absolve you from committing federal obstruction of justice. So you're still under, again, yeah, okay. Congratulations, you're an American citizen, but you're still under arrest. You're obstructing law enforcement. No, okay, all right, you know what, shut up. Screw your window. What? No! What you think was going to happen? Oh no, but I said no! I said no, you can be my car! Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said I get out of my car! You do have to get out of your car. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a fish taco waitress. She doesn't know anything about the law. And by the way, how is she not held liable for telling people that they don't have to get out of the car? Okay. You do have to get out of your car. If you commit a federal crime in front of federal officers, they can arrest you. They can arrest you off of federal property. They can arrest you if you're an American citizen. If you've committed a federal crime. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is telling you that they're not real police. They don't have jurisdiction. You don't have to get out of the car. They're going to F you up. And some of...
thing for like all the illegals.
I think we have to be fair.
Guys, this is great. I think we found a new home for you guys.
What guys?
There you go.
Yeah. I don't understand what this is all about.
Immigration. They get
That's crazy.
You idiots are going to hit the gas.
It's playing background music.
And then you're going to
Gotta cut it off.
like that other chick found out. They put a tow truck in front of this chick so she couldn't hit the gas. Oh, she was going to load her car for the tow truck operator. But she was like, no, I'm just going to sit here now. I'm not going to get out of the car. No, they're going to yank you out of your car. They were very patient. A minute's a very long time.
Thank you very much.
And so they're going to fuck your car all up. They're going to drag you the hell out, and then you're going to go to prison. You're going to spend the night in jail. Then you got to go to court. You guys are all. By the way, keep doing this. This is hilarious. You shouldn't keep doing it. By the way, I should say. Let me back that up. Don't keep doing this. Keep listening to lefties because this is all working out for you. I think this is a dumb thing to do. Very consistent. Don't do this. Don't do this. If they're in the wrong, get their body camera footage, get your dash cam, get your cell phone, take them to court later on, and win a lot of money. But you sit there, you're going to lose this game. Some of you are going to lose more than your glass, you're going to lose more than your eye, you're going to lose more than your life.
This would be like for your actual Eric Adams recently came up with an idea to house migrants in private citizens' homes. Sounds good to me. Could you ever see yourself housing a migrant? Not right now, not this point. If they want to put somebody up, then why shouldn't they? Would you be willing to sign this today and invite a migrant into your home?
No. I think that's like a really good idea. I mean, yeah, why not?
Could you ever see yourself housing a migrant in your home?
I mean, totally.
Yeah, why not?
So if you sign this, we can get a migrant into your home, and as early as next week. Would you want to sign this today?
No, because I live with my parents.
You think you could ask your parents?
I don't know.
This would be like for your actual home for you to take in a migrant yourself.
I literally live in a 2-bedroom and you're gonna take me in.
So they'll contact you, they'll set you up with a migrant, and they'll have them on your house in as early as 1 week. Thanks so much.
You're going to lose a lot of things. Listening to lefties give you the world's worst legal advice. But again, you idiots keep beating yourselves out there. But there you go. Another dumb liberal chick finds out that, no, they're real police, idiots. They're real police. You're committing real crimes. They're real police. And they're going to bust your car up. I'm going to laugh my balls off as you idiots scream. Okay, thanks so much for watching the video. Support and channel. Kept up to date with these libtards. Find it out. Hit that subscribe button and make way because the soul must flow.
Rally against the shooting death of Renee Good in Minnesota.
Alakablam! Put some ice on it. Cyclops. Oh, too soon, Abe? Too soon? People are wondering who Abe, guys, Abe. God bless you. Anyhow, you've got a bunch of lefty tards finding out because they said, I'm going to go resist. I'm going to go resist tip to tip so hard.
Lost a subscriber. Have a brother out.
Fight. Go to work.
Like and subscribe.
Go to work. Go to work. You got time to lean. You got time to clean. Go get a job, fool. Renee Good protester claims blind in one eye after ICE officer fires non-lethal round. Well, then, yeah, there you go. See, look, isn't this already moving in the right direction for you dumb idiot leftards out there? Right? It was a non-lethal round, right? Yeah, he got shot in the face, but it was with a pepper ball. Is this what you were crying about? Like, oh my God, I can't believe
Don. Right.
that you shot
Like and subscribe.
a lesbian mother of
Come here the
three
right way,
who
no
was running
problem.
over a police officer. Oh my God, I can't believe that they sign or what? I can't. You guys are using real bullet. That's an actual quote. You guys are. Oh my God, you guys are using real bullets. That's how completely out of touch these idiots are. So anyway, here you go, pepper balls. Oh my God, I can't believe you blinded this mother of three over here with a mustachio. What? What the hell is even that, boys? Sassafras, man who protests against ICE raids and Renee Good shooting in Minnesota, got shot in the face.
Thank you. Appreciate
In
it.
Santa Ana. Because this place over here is a continued federal building that left-wing weirdos with foreign flags keep assaulting. They think, they're like, oh my God, look at you. You fascists and you autocrats and you dictators. Why? Well, you won't let us bring in our foreign hordes. What? Look at it. You got Mexican flags, Palestinian flags, gay flags. Look at this. Look at this. Some idiot brought their Ukrainian flag. They're not doing that one anymore. That one's done. Yeah, we're not doing Slava Ukrainian. Goes to Kiev chicken anymore. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. And so you idiots show up to this building over and over and over again. And you threaten to kill these agents. You're surprised that they shot you in the face with a pepper ball? I'm surprised that it was a pepper ball. There you go. That's fine. Look at Lols. Look. I pretended to kill him, Lols. Bap. Got him. Oh, no. That's a shame, bro. Oh, no. You've got rocks and bottles. You got all of this crap. They're throwing stuff at the building, and they're threatening to kill the ICE officers. And they're shocked. Oh, my God. Flabbergasted that the feds would come out and defend this territory, defend this building, try to disperse them. Like, no, you're supposed to just let us throw $quarter-6 of dynamite at you. It's just a firecracker. Yeah, I get that it's a firecracker, but it's also a quarter stick of dynamite. So yeah, we're not gonna let you throw these at these ICE. Oh no, it's fine for us to do it because we're never held accountable for our actions. Well, there you go. Now you're held accountable for your now you're a cycloptic mess. Congratulations. I know that you are not going to put ice on that wound, but maybe some CBD. Maybe that will help you sleep at night. Soothe the pain. Check out today's sponsor, CB Distillery. What if your only resolution this year was to get more sleep? Just imagine how much more energy you would have, how much easier it would be to handle stress. Pretty much all of your goals would be easier, right? That's why the smart way to start 2026 is with CBD from CB Distillery. Get this, over 90% of CBD customers say they sleep better with CBD. I'm one of them, by the way. That's tough to beat. And when you sleep better, everything feels easier. And CB Distillery has options for more than just sleep. Solutions for stress, mood relief, pain after workouts. They've even got CBD for beds. You can shop by benefit, so it's easy to find out what you're looking for. My favorite is right there on that front page, that Plus elderberry or the extra strength strawberry gummies up there. Those will put you right down to sleep. They're fantastic. Everything from CB Distillery is premium quality, third-party tested, and free from artificial dyes and fillers. And they have over 2 million happy customers and 100% money-back guarantee. This has been a constant place of attack. And now one of these idiots got their eyes shot out. It's like a Christmas story, lads. Anti-ICE protester claims he's blind in one eye after federal officers shot him with non-lethal weapon in Santa Ana. Again, that's one way to phrase this. I would say, dumb idiot tard out there LARPing because he doesn't have a dad. 21 years old. This guy's going to have a hard enough time buying a house in the future just because his generation got screwed over by the Democrats and the global elite bringing in tens of millions of illegal aliens. But no, instead of going to work, trying to maybe, again, not a great position to have to get a side hustle in order to buy a house. But listen, you're out there and you're playing and LARPing as some sort of resistance fighter. You could be doing something productive, but no. They love setting stuff on fire and threatening to kill people. Anyway, so you got consequenced. You're not allowed to throw stuff at federal buildings. This is just a minimal amount of non-compliance, right? No, well, okay, well, there's a minimal amount of non-lethal to your eye peeper. His name is Caden Rumler. Again, got a weird suspicion raised by two lesbian moms, boys. 21 years old, and he was a protester Friday night in Santa Ana when he and fellow protesters were pulled out by federal officers. You're a protester when you're throwing rocks and glass bottles and quarter sticks of dynamite at a federal building. I guess. I don't think it's lawful to throw stuff at a building. Again, I don't really have a general problem with this type of protesting, like, I'm going to throw I get it, but then you don't get that you're going to get shot in the face with a pepper ball? Yeah. They're not just going to sit there and take it. It's so stupid. It's so crazy. And if you keep turning a blind eye, like if they don't defend that building from these idiots throwing bottles and rocks at it, right? Just let them throw bottles and rocks, you just clean it up the next day. All right, yeah, I get that, but they keep doing it. They keep attacking this place, and they're trying to set it on fire. So, yeah, you throw a rock at this building, they're going to come out and hit you with pepper balls, and you should be glad and lucky that it's pepper balls. But anyway, the other protesters spoke at the press conference today echoes that both refute the Department of Homeland Security statement that was sent to Fox, boys. All right, they said, listen, you guys were throwing stuff at our building, and they're saying, no, we weren't throwing it. But there's video of you throwing stuff at them. I mean, how's all this trash and this glass and these bottles and these how did all that get that you're throwing this crap at them? We didn't throw anything at the building. The video says you're lying. I mean, this is good. They're not even smart. Like, they're just, again. So I guess nothing of value was lost IQ-wise, I'm thinking. On January 9th, a mob of 60 rioters threw rocks, balls, and fireworks at law enforcement officers outside the federal building in Santa Ana. 2 officers were injured. 2 violent rioters were arrested and charged with assault on a federal officer and disorderly conduct. Yeah, there you go. Disorderly conduct. You're throwing rocks at a building. That's disorderly conduct. But you start throwing quarter sticks of dynamite, Molotov cocktails at it, and yeah, you're going to get. They're not going to let you throw rocks anymore at these buildings. There's a highly coordinated campaign of violence where rioters wielded shields. One of the rioters, who was arrested for disorderly conduct, was taken to the hospital for a cut.
All right, you guys, I'm going to end this video. I appreciate you guys. Happy Thursday. Stay blessed. MAGA, baby. Peace.